Okay, today I'm going to give you a little short tutorial on using Simple Seestar Control in your web browser through the Seestar Alp or Seestar Alpaca app. In this case, I have Seestar _ALP or Seestar Alpaca installed on a Raspberry Pi P400. And so I've connected to the Raspberry Pi through VNC, or you can, of course, actually use a monitor on a Raspberry Pi and a keyboard to do any of the controls. So the first thing that we want to do is actually make sure that your Seestar is turned on and in station mode. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. The first step in using Seestar ALP is to make sure that your Seestar is on and connected. Also, you want to make sure that your Seestar is connected to your local network using station mode. To enable station mode, you can tap on the Seestar image at the top of the Seestar app, and you can tap on Wi-Fi, and then you can tap on station mode. Make sure that you have that enabled. And you can log on to your local network and enter the password at that point. Once you've done that, your Seestar is connected and in station mode. Once we have the Seestar started and in station mode and on the same network as the Raspberry Pi with Seestar ALP installed, we will want to start Seestar ALP and the Simple Seestar Controller apps on the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to open the file manager on the Raspberry Pi here, and you can see that I have Seestar ALP already installed here. And you can see that there's several directories here, including device and front, which are the two directories that we'll need to use to launch Seestar ALP and the Simple Seestar Controller. So the easiest way to do this is to open two terminal windows. So I have two terminal windows open, and in the first one I'm going to navigate to Seestar _ALP device and look for app Pi. So I'm going to change directory first. And so I'm going to change directory to home, your name of your directory in your Raspberry Pi, which happens to be CleverJ in my case, Seestar ALP device, and I'll go ahead and hit return. And then I'm into that directory, and then I'll go to Python 3 to launch the app.py. So I'll hit return there. You'll see that it'll get the config.toml file, which would have automatically been configured if you have a single Seestar when you installed this Seestar ALP app on the Raspberry Pi. So you can see that it has launched that and it is connected. So I'm going to go to another terminal window here, and I'm going to navigate or change directories to the front directory in Seestar ALP. So I've got CD, home, username, Seestar ALP /front, hit return. Then I'll select Python 3 app Pi, and hit return there. Okay, and you can see at this point that it's started the Seestar Simple Control app, and it's telling you that the URL for the Seestar Simple Control is this IP address. And you can also use the local device name for the Raspberry Pi. And in my case, that happens to be Raspberry Pi -2. So I'm going to switch over to my Mac OS now and open up my Safari web browser. So I'm in my Safari web browser, and I'll go ahead and go to full screen here. So the URL that we want to enter into our web browser is going to be the local device name or IP address. And so in my case here, it's Raspberry Pi -2, and it may vary whatever your case may be. Or you can enter the IP address that was up there earlier. So Raspberry Pi -2.local : and then we're going to want to put in, and then we want to put in the port 5430, which is the default port for Seestar ALP. Okay, once we've entered that URL, that should bring us to the Simple Seestar Controller homepage. And this homepage includes, basically, it lets you know that your Seestar is connected, and gives you a little bit of information on it here. And we can see that that my battery percentage is about 44%. So, well, yeah, I'm still good for a little bit. All right. So the real trick to the Simple Seestar controller is that you really only need to use the scheduler page. The image page allows you to put in coordinates for capturing a single sequence of images, or you can use the Mosaic page to set up your Mosaic, or you can use the schedule page to schedule and set up a script. But in the schedule page, you can also add the image and the Mosaic controls. So there's no reason really to use those other pages if you're going to be doing a schedule or a script or a Mosaic. So I'm going to tap on click on the schedule page there. So we can also switch between dark and light mode now, which is a new nice little feature. And if you had multiple Seestars configured, you could actually switch between those different Seestars up here in the interface as well, in the upper right-hand corner. So we can see that the state right now is the current schedule is stopped. And then we can see here that we have basically, this is the script or the batch file that is going to tell the Seestar what to do. Okay, so to start my schedule, I'm going to do a wait until command. And so I'm going to set this for just a minute or two ahead of my current time here. So I'll set my wait until time to 12:40, which is just a couple minutes from now. And I'll go ahead and submit that. First, I'm going to go ahead and just set up a simple image capture here. And so I'm going to make the target M31. I'm going to hit the search, which will get the RA and DEC from the Sinbad server. And so you can see that we do have some numbers here. We'll set a total session time for 2 minutes or 120 seconds. And gain is by default 80, and you should just use that value. And we're not going to use a light pollution filter, and we're going to use autofocus. So I'll go ahead and submit that to the schedule now. And so we've got wait till 12:40 and then start Mosaic here, which is actually just going to be a start an image. We'll do it in a Mosaic here in just a moment. So I'm going to start the scheduler.
Finding object.
And so we could see that it was after 12:40. We got in under the wire there. And so that actually started the process to find M31. Of course, this is going to error out because it won't be able to plate solve. But next, I'll show you how to set up a mosaic for that same object. So I'll go ahead and clear our current schedule. And now we'll go ahead and set up a mosaic capture. So I'll click on the mosaic panel here. And again, we'll go through and we'll just choose the same target, M31, which happens to be up here during the daytime right now. And then I'm going to retrieve the RA and declination from the Simbad server. And we're going to do a 3x3 mosaic here. So I'll put 3 panels for the RA, 3 panels for the declination, and we'll do about a 20% overlap. J2000 is on by default, and I'm going to presume that's going to give us the right coordinates. And then we're going to set up a total session time. So if we want to have 6 panels with 2-minute capture on each panel, that will be a 12-minute total session time or 720 seconds. Gain should be just set at 80%, which is the default value. And in this case for M31, I'm not going to use a light pollution filter, and I can set up autofocus for every panel so that it will go through a focus routine between each panel just to get the clearest stars possible. All right, I'll hit submit. And you can see that that has added that to the schedule here. And I can hit start at this point.
Finding object.
And the Seestar is going to try to attempt to find the object. Of course, this is going to error out because it's during the daytime and it can't plate solve. But we're in the evening and it was able to plate solve. We would go ahead and start that session and do the capture for you. Of course, here in the Seestar app, we're going to get a error because it cannot plate solve, and it will basically say it can't find the object. So I'm going to tap back out of the stargazing mode here, or cancel this out. And then I'll go exit out to the basic Seestar screen. And one thing that you want to keep in mind if you're going to be doing post-processing of your images and you want to save out the individual FITS files from your mosaic, is that you want to tap on the Seestar object in the upper right on the Seestar app and then scroll down here to advanced feature and make sure that you have save each frame and enhancing turned on. And then that should give you plenty of images to work with and use in your post-processing software to create a mosaic.